Estamos com Alexandre Lavanchy, da Wattson.
Yes.
Hello, Alexandre.
Hello.
Please, can you tell us about the new amplifiers?
Yes. So this is an amplifier we already brought last year to Munich. It was working with Apertura loudspeakers. And we were ready almost to go to production, but we were not entirely satisfied on how it behaves with complex loads. For some people, having loudspeakers with very low impedance, especially in the bass range, as the unit is very compact, as you can see, and it's a Class AB linear amplifier. It was very difficult for us to have enough power on the power supply. We don't want to rely on the transformer to deliver current, so we like to have capacitors as a reserve of energy, and we had simply not enough room inside this enclosure to make it work. So back to work, and 1 year later we changed the concept of the power supply entirely. Now we have a DC current input at the back of the amplifier with an external power supply, which brings us 36 volt DC voltage inside.
But can it work with an external power supply and internal power supply?
There is an internal circuit which converts this 36 volt. Actually, at something between 28 and 50 volts works, and it's converted with a high frequency switching device, about 300 kilohertz, for doing the voltage rails of the amplifier. So it's regulated, it's switched at very high frequency, which allows us to use small devices, small electronic parts to filter out the ripple noise and have the reserve of energy. Inside the amplifier, this converter has a total power of 1400 watts, so it's way more than what we need for the amplifier.
Is it a digital amplifier?
No, it's a linear one, Class AB.
Class AB?
It's
only the power supply is switched power.
Yes, exactly, and it's switched as with a higher frequency compared to usual power supply. 300 kilohertz about for this one. Usually it's more 80 or 100 kilohertz. So we are way above the audio bandwidth, and we filter. We have quite a lot of filtering, but we worked a lot on that. Not to reduce speed, but just to filter out the noise. It's not easy. And there is a big shielding. So the enclosure, which is milled out of a solid block of aluminum, is entirely. I can show you maybe if you wish. Just 1 minute.
That's the chassis, the inside of the amplifier.
Yes, so there is room for the analog section, the amplifier section, and we have two.
Is it a solid block or made of
Yes.
parts? It's solid block.
It's a solid block, yes. Quite heavy, actually. And the power supply sections are fully shielded compared to the analog audio section. This concept allows us to take the maximum output current of the amplifier, and the power supply stays at the exact same voltage. So this is something quite unusual, and this tiny amp delivers, for this reason, maybe 2 times 50 watts at 8 ohm, but it can drive very complex loudspeakers.
And you call it, what's
It's a Madison range.
the Madison range?
So in this range we have a streamer DAC and we have an amplifier.
They are monoblocks?
They can be used in
Stereo or
mono or
rigid?
bi-amplification. We use them in bi-amplification, so the input signal is carried out to the 2 outputs, and we have one output dedicated here to the treble, so the tweeter and the super tweeter, and the other for the mid-range and bass.
Okay, Alexander, thank you very much.
You're welcome.